Yeah, right. How we staying? Hopefully well, hopefully good. I am the internet's Mike Cow. This is Cow Daily. Um, Today we're going to be joined by Glasgalf of Fellowship of the Memes fame. However, the top G isn't here yet, so I thought I'd start, get things moving, do all of the housekeeping and all that before the top G arrives. So what do I need to do? Firstly, I'm sleeping like not very well at the minute, so just bear with us. I'm a bit meh, 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 but we'll get it done. We'll probably explore and reasons why later when Glasgow arrives. We've got things to discuss. So if you would like to support our work, go to patreon.com/cow daily. That's patreon.com/cow daily. Also, there are links in the description of wherever you are watching or listening to this for PayPal, if you want to make a one-off contribution to our work. Big up the people who've done that this week. Very much appreciated as ever. But without further ado, Glasgow's favourite son, Glasgalf. Harit, how are you doing?
Happening, man. Not too shabby. No spewed this morning. Always a good day.
I do, man. I love the setup. It's looking good.
This is all thanks to Mrs. G. She does the whole set production element, making it look nice, and I just take the credit.
Nice one. I'm currently recording an absolute shithole, and that's why I've got the blur on. We're moving tomorrow, so it's like what you'll see is loads of crap all over the place. So
I'm in like a nook in my living room.
You want to say that again?
I'm in a nook in my living room, shoved away in the corner.
Class, man. So obviously we've been trying to get it sorted for a while. At first it was me for a couple of times, and then you and back and forth. So I'm really happy to have you here, mate. It's like I've followed your work for a long time. Obviously Fellowship, and then obviously you span off into Glasgalf as well. Didn't worry about it. We're not going to do like some interview. We'll just have a bit of crack. I mean, I know we spoke about it on Instagram. It's like there's a few things that we're going to like cover and whatever. Same way with the people in the comments. If you just want me to talk about certain things, just suggest it in the comments. Speaking of that though, if you want to give like an early reaction to the stream, it really helps with the algorithm and all that, and also sharing it. Always a pleasure if you do that. Cheers. Right, G, we've got a few things, right? First thing I want to do as well though, what are your pronouns? And I'm going to tell you why, right? Because I see you're quite fluid in your sexuality, all of that. Honestly, man, I hate getting it wrong, but I'm some like dafty from the northeast of England in his mid-40s, so I stumble across this stuff, seriously. So I always find it doesn't matter what it is. The best thing to do is be direct, so we'll get it sorted, and then that's what we'll do.
No, I actually kind of like that, because I know a lot of people, they just ask what people's pronouns are. It might not he, him, though. Kush with that.
Nice one.
And I'm assuming yours are he, him also?
Yeah,
or would I be wrong?
No.
So we're good. We're all good then.
Ask, isn't it? Like,
well, you better not, because you might get cancelled off the anti-Doctor Who crowd. Don't you dare ask someone their pronouns.
We're going to be fucking pulling that one up in a bit as well. But no, like, this thing isn't just people like watching or listening to this. It's that easy. It's that easy. But trust us, right? I didn't want to ask you through, this is still through a screen, but you get what I mean, through an inbox. Yeah, I'd rather do it this way. It's respectful, innit?
No, it's nice. Nice to see it.
But also at the same time, I was worried I was disrespecting you, because the odd time I'll be like, dude, like him, that kind of thing. Didn't know if that was like the right thing or the wrong thing. So I felt like that Catholic guilt ingrained in people with Irish background has fully encompassed us. So here we are.
Mrs. G understands this.
Proper, mate, I'm telling you. But we've nailed that one off, and that's the crack. It's that simple, and I don't think people should overcomplicate things. It's just be direct, ask it, and move on. See him, so am I. There we go. Right. This was what we're talking about. So there's what I said was, will you educate me tomorrow about this Doctor Who thing? I know nothing about it, and I always like to find out about things fresh on camera. It's sometimes funny a crack. So what's going on with this Doctor Who thing then?
So we're on the next cycle of everybody absolutely raging about Doctor Who for being woke, despite Doctor Who for its entire fucking length. Well, out to swear, aye.
Right for it, mate. I don't care.
Cool. So it's been woke since its inception, but so we added pronouns in last night, take the biscuit, but it was basically kind of along the same things yourself. So we'll quickly run through the characters. You've got Donna Noble and the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant, everybody's favourite. You also have introduced Donna Noble's daughter, who's Rose Noble, who everybody initially started having a meltdown over because they thought they were replacing the initial Rose, and then they were saying, like, oh, they're getting... So Rose Noble is a transgender character, played by a transgender actress, which is nice. Nice to see the representation go all the ways, and we'll talk about that a wee bit extra as well. But basically, it all comes into a scene where you have the Meep. Sorry, guys, there's maybe spoilers in this if you've not watched this Doctor Who special. But you have the Meep, and the Doctor basically just assumes the Meep is a he/him, and Rose points at it. And he goes, okay, yeah, good point. So what is your pronouns? And the Meep responds, I always use the definitive article. I am always the Meep. And then he makes a joke about how he's the Doctor. And then they moved on. So it was basically just making a point of how you can make the assumption, but if somebody picks you up on it, you can just easily go, alright, actually that's a good point. What are your pronouns? And then be respectful for them onwards. I think people have this assumption that if you get it wrong, people are going to jump down your throat. That's never been my experience with any of my trans mates or anything. It's always been a case of, I think people understand you've grew up in a culture that is very binary in how it looks at gender, and I'm glad we're kind of getting beyond that. But
yeah, man.
yeah,
I
if
mean,
you
I
make a
grew up
mistake,
in the
just
90s.
say sorry.
Man. I grew up in the 90s in the northeast of England. It wasn't known for its tolerance at the time, but again, it doesn't matter what it is or how it is. If you're not sure, ask people. And I think internet culture and the culture wars has poisoned people into thinking like all trans people are just up height all the time and they're going to leap all over you for asking. Couldn't be further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. And do you know how I know that? Because I ask. Simple as that. Just one-to-one conversation with another human being. What are you comfortable with? Cool. That's what it is then.
Exactly. Everybody makes mistakes. Honestly, like my granny is coming up for 80. Oh, my set is falling apart. She's coming up for 80, and she has obviously lived her entire life with all these kind of standards set, and she doesn't understand a lot of it, but it took a 10-minute discussion with my granny, and she's basically, like, I don't think she still understands it all, but her view is, why should the government get in the way of anybody else's happiness? They're no bothering me, so why is everybody being bothered? Like, I don't care, I just want everybody to live their best life. She's the reason why I'm anti-fascist. She always brought me up against Nazism and colonialism and all that. I tried to explain the biology and all that kind of thing, which she doesn't understand. Like, I still need to explain my own condition and stuff like that. It's just something she's never grasped, but she's always tried to. And I think that's what makes the difference. People are not expecting others to just go out knowing every pronoun that exists, every sexuality that exists. They just want a wee bit of respect. And that's pretty much about it.
Tell you what it is, man. This is where when we explore it and have good faith conversations, that's where we find connections. My currency in life with anybody is respect. I put it out, and if it's not served back, then I react. If it's served back, then I react. And it's basically on that, you know? It's dead simple. People are overcomplicating it. And one of the things that obviously, you know, you aware of the work, we're talking about the International Fashion Network, Steve Bannon. It is literally Steve Bannon's stated aim to use this issue as a wedge issue to divide the left. So anybody who's feeding it from any side without any good faith, like trying to unifying conversation, is basically their brains in a jar in Steve Bannon's back garden.
So that's actually making me think. So, as you know, we're pretty... I don't allow actually any debate about trans people. Well, there's the odd occasional comment that I've heavily monitored because I think it's been in good faith and it might turn out okay. But you do make a good point, because Owens Fellowship, we have a rule, don't debate our trans homies. They see themselves get debated everywhere. This can just be a wee slice where they're casual. But with the caveat of our wee space, our wee space is a bit different, I guess. It's more a community space, a wee community gaff, everybody to chill in. But I do completely agree, if there's people you can reach over to and make them understand, because I've actually had a few friends that were TERFs, and I took a bit of extra time with them because I did care for them. I don't believe them to be bad people, I just believe them to be believing what they're spoon-fed. And I got through to these people. Other people that I haven't got through to, I've made myself very clear on it. It's just a stance. I won't talk to you or whatever.
Fantastic.
continue it. But a few people I've took the time to, and I've had successes, and it's good because there's a lot of people that I would have really had a hard time cutting off, I guess.
Yeah, I
But
hear that, man. Yeah.
I'm glad. Definitely, I guess you need to decide for yourself. Do you have the effort? Because it's not your job to educate people. But if you've got the effort and you've got a connection with somebody, definitely go for it, because you could be a whisper in the ear where there's more negative whispers flying around.
I hear that, man. And one thing I want to make clear, I don't think Facebook pages are the place for these discussions at all, ever, not once, or
This is
in the
better.
written word online. And I think you've got the correct policy. I think conversations like this are probably the closest, but preferably face to face and in good faith, if possible. I don't think there should be debates, because there's certain things that I don't think can be debated.
Yes.
But I do think conversations need to occur, and the reason being, if we stay fragmented, we can't win. We can't. And what I mean by win is meet the needs of like all of the people living in poverty, people who are clinically vulnerable, people who need support. It's not going to happen unless we unify. So I'm willing to sort of like, because it's one of those things like, when I say have a conversation straight away, because it's such a toxic Bannon-led debate, straight away, that's the model for it. And that's one of the other psychological aims of them, for people to be so repelled by the toxicity of it that they just stay out of it, and they see the caricature of it promoted by right-wing media. And
Definitely. I think that is generally the point. Like, we just started, I don't really know how our page, but it started as a joke between me and Gollum. We just made memes for our pals, and then I was like, I made a joke about make a fellowship of memes, one meme to rule them all, like that kind of quote. And then it just kind of led to here, and then I guess I'm at a crossroads. No understand like would kind of, because I want to use it today something better and speak about things, but I never expected the kind of like we get death threats and stuff with people or memes, and I'm like,
relate, aye.
What? It's a fucking meme. I'm a 5'2" wee Scottish guy that. I mean, if you try and fight me, I've got weapons and all that kind of stuff. Come to my home. But other than that, like, I'm no threat. I just make funnies online and shout stuff. But it's wild. It's meant to get like that. That's the point.
Honestly, man, I love Fellowship, and I love the Glasgalf page, and I love the action in the comments as well. Just saying how you use comedy to dismantle absolute arseholes. It's brilliant, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted you on, because if we've got a platform, we want to use it to amplify like people who've got a voice that should be heard. So it doesn't matter to me who anybody is, if everybody's valid, if they're putting something positive out, and you are certainly, and I know the Wide Eye crew is as well. So it's one of them, isn't it? It's like, obviously when this goes out on the audio, there's all the links to follow. So please follow the Fellowship and Glasgalf as well. I mean, one thing I wanted to bring up with you, right? It's about like journalism in 2023, right?
Right.
And what I wanted to like get across to you, I bet you don't think you are a journalist, right?
Yep.
But conversations that are happening now are around what constitutes a journalist in 2023. I do other things outside of this, right? And in the new definition, you would be. Why? Because what gets things across to people directly, memes, comedy. People are much more likely to absorb that, and they're one-shot things. So you take it in, you get it. And news are absolutely like elite level at that. Like getting across seemingly complex information in a simple way, but it's funny, so it's engaging.
I guess that's the struggle with it a lot of the time. Knowing what the balance is, because obviously it is such important topics, and you're trying to try and make memes about Gaza and stuff. Like, it's debilitating in a sense. It's just we've ended up at this weird situation, but like I feel like we have got a voice, and there's so much disinformation in that out there. So why shouldn't we just? Like, I just want to say to people, never take our memes as like a gold standard of truth or everything. Like, we could be wrong on stuff. We try and aim not to be. We've always went into things where this is just an honest view. If we get stuff wrong, happy to admit we'll probably have got stuff wrong. We'll look back at memes and we'll be like, why the fuck did we think that was alright to post? But I guess that's about developing and growing. But I guess I've never seen myself as a journalist, but I feel sort of forced into using the voice that I've found myself with accidentally. I mean, we just do all this for free. People seem to think that we get this is monetized by George Soros. And all that. I mean, a fucking wish, like, Soros, you better give me that sweet Antifa box, like, I'm here, ready, waiting. But unfortunately, no, this is pretty much just what I do so I don't go mental because I'm too disabled to do anything else to do. So
Yeah, man, I hear
that's how
you, man.
it's kept going.
So that's it. Like, basically, the reason I bring it up is journalism and all of that, and you're quite right. And I've found this too. I've found it massively debilitating. Well, certainly the last month, but it was already at a high level because of the overlapping crises that we're all facing. Just on that, one of the other ones is like COVID. Do you want to tell her, as a clinically vulnerable person, how you experience life now?
So life before COVID wasn't fun in general. We'll just TLDR, the symptoms basically. Fatigue's always been a huge issue for me. Try to keep up with, or just drop them down for like an infection. Like, you get a cold, you got the sniffle for a few days. You at most a week, and you're back to normal. And it isn't too debilitating. I'd get a cold, and that would be me flared for a week or 2 weeks. I didn't think it was fun now. I've had COVID 3 times since, and I didn't think fatigue could get any worse. But it's no fun. Just get the jab. I've more anxiety ever about going out because nobody's got a fucking mask, and then half the time, like, my anxiety builds, and I'm like, should I just pull mine down? Should I? Because everybody's around me, no wearing a mask, no giving a fuck. And honestly, my sickness has increased. I don't know what I'm doing until I wake up. I wake up and find out if I'm going to be done in or not. You ever felt exhausted after going up 3 steps when you look like you could run up the steps if you want? I can't explain, and it's so mentally taxing as well. You think that if you're this big tough guy, like, you think you're tough, but you need to have like the mental strength to continuously put up with being what I feel is just a sack of shite most of the time. I spend each day spewing. I spend each day unable to sleep or just really wanting to sleep, but it's still not happening. It's shit, and people don't realise that, like, I had brain fog before because of chemo and all that. Brain fog is probably the most annoying part of fucking COVID I've had because it annoyed me with the chemo. Can't remember shit I knew really well. And then COVID's probably what took me out of nursing. I started realising this is basic nursing skills, and I'm forgetting how to do a basic nursing skill. Like, I'm sitting spending minutes like, what the fuck is the beats per minute of your heart? And then for that point, it took me a few days to realise it's no safe, and I always put my patients first. And that was a weird one because when I put on a nursing uniform, it's no like Glasgalf. It's like you could be a Tory, you could be Boris Johnson. I just deeply believe in nursing being impartial.
Well,
you put a nurse's outfit on, you help people. Anyway, sorry, I'm ADHD tangenting a bit.
No, I'm listening, man. It's this is your story, and like I'm fully listening to what you're saying.
I've had it twice, and the fatigue has got worse every single time. I'm sure my condition doesn't help it, and that's a unique basket case as well. But it's not like all these people that say stuff about the jab's gonna give you some sort of chip, even though they want fucking Elon's mega brain chip. But at the same time, like, but I've got an immune system. I've got an immune system. Like, alright, then you've also got a skeletal muscular structure. Like, go and fucking drive down the road with your seatbelt on and watch your natural defences save you as you go flying through the window. Like,
true, man.
The way a vaccine works is, ever played a game with cheats? Because it's basically a cheat sheet for your immune system. It goes, oh, I've seen that wee bastard before. Mum will batter him. And then all the wee immune cells, apart from mine, only some of mine, run down and batter the shit out of COVID. Whereas COVID's like a wee ninja if you've not got the vaccine, and it will evade your immune system. And then your immune system will kick in and go, fuck, everything's too late. And sometimes it's your immune system that does you in. Because I've had that as well, where my white cells, there's that many, it fucking starts to break your organs and all that, done. But aye, that's my kid-advised version of why you should get a vaccine.
It's good stuff, and it needs to be said. And I mean, just sort of, I mean, you know, I got like proper hit with COVID. It was early. I had it before it was cool, before it was even like.
Yeah.
I think I might have had it. I think it was in the country before they were letting on, because I got ill
Yes.
like the year before the lockdowns, and this was off the back of a spinal surgery, right? And my immune system was already mashed up off anesthetic and all of that.
Yeah.
So I honestly thought I was dying, you know, and then I pulled through it, and then I'd never felt right for a long time, but nobody was talking about COVID at all. And then when all that kicked in, things started to make sense. And then before the vaccines, I got it again, and then was like leveled with shingles for, I don't know, shingles post-viral fatigue for about 2 years. I had shingles for nearly a year, man. Like it was ridiculous. I was like bedbound. So what you're describing isn't like this. It isn't quite the same, but some of the outcomes, the long COVID style, brain fog, man, brain
What a
fog,
bastard that is.
scary, scared. I mean, like, you know, as you say, we can all be big and hard and all that. Never been so scared in my life, because I've always lent into my mind. And before spinal surgery, it was my body. Like I couldn't lean into that anymore, so it was just the mind, and then I couldn't lean into that at all, and I was stuck in bed. So as much as I don't have your like lived experience, I can relate, and that's why I say this, man. It's put me right on the. I'm going to do whatever I can to get proper filtration in these buildings, because you can't stay in the house all the time. It shouldn't be that like clinically vulnerable people have to like take the hit for everybody else to kind of have a fucking pint, man. That's not the world.
That's the world under capitalism. That's going to be the world under Labour and the Conservatives, by the looks of it, unless some people get their shit together and start calling
And
out
sir,
the
we shall smash
lesser
it.
evil.
We shall smash it
But,
into the ground.
no, I think
2024, the year of the people, man.
that would be fucking lovely. I guess I'm a wee bit more pessimistic. Try to be optimistic, but every now and then reality hits. I just don't see a good outcome for disabled people going forward.
Well, I tell you what it is, right?
And I'm going to
we'll
keep saying
trying.
that so people listen and maybe think, why do disabled people feel like they're fucked?
It's unacceptable, and it's unacceptable anywhere, ever. But it's certainly more unacceptable now than it's ever been. Like, when I came back from what I just described, like I took a full break from everything social media. I came back and I was naive. I honestly thought, like, I posted up and I was like, oh, it's a great community. They'll be all on the clinically vulnerable thing. And obviously I'll share my story and they're like me, so this will be fine. Bollocks. Absolutely torn a new arsehole. Not by everybody, but it was 50-50. Quite a few people unfollowed and all of that. And I just went, fuck it, and just lent into it, as you've seen, and just went for it, because it's unacceptable. It hurts me to hear what you say about what's going on there. And obviously I've got people in my life as well who's in very similar situations, and it's terrifying. You know, people need to understand, before I bring you back in, Glasgalf, right? This can happen to anybody. It was 1 in 10 people could get long COVID. Now it's coming down. I think it was the last study I saw, 1 in 8. Who knows what it is now? Who knows? Because nobody knows about these new strains, and nobody wants to talk about it either.
Exactly, because they know if they shut the system down again, it's just too much money for them. But the system means more than their lives between it. But I like, for people that think disabled people, just shove them out the way, you know, and that's the luck of the draw, survival of the fittest and all that. And like, don't you realise how close you are to being disabled? Like, you could go out tomorrow and get smacked by a car, boom, you're now disabled. You could get long COVID and not be able to work again. It scars your lungs, it scars organs, it's scarring people's brains. I was just thankful that I never had lung issues with it, which was lucky for me, considering my lungs got fucked with adult chickenpox, among other infections, but it was mainly the chickenpox that done me in. And like, you're one illness for joining us. No. Really wish I did now. First time I caught it, I was 19, and I went to ICU for a week and a half. Just absolutely everywhere. Nobody told me that adult chickenpox was significantly worse than just getting it as a wean. I'd rather been at all the chickenpox parties. Do not recommend that, people, by the way. Just get the flu vaccine, the chickenpox vaccine. Don't do the party thing. It's not medically recommended. However, looking back, I'd have fucking done it.
Yeah, do you know about the shingles vaccine, by the way? Because it goes like chicken pox, and then it stays
Aye.
in your system, HPV virus, I think, and then that's what triggered shingles for me. So it's called Shingrix, and I'm gonna have to pay for it, but I think it's clinically vulnerable. You may qualify on the NHS, dude. Get it seriously.
Is it a live vaccine? I can't remember because I
Can't
know
remember.
I can't get
Yeah.
certain live vaccines. Don't know if I can now actually. Don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on medically for me, so I think my doctors are just firing a bit, focusing on certain shit. Meanwhile, I don't have a fucking clue what's happening. But anyway, that's by the by.
No worries,
I mean,
man.
but
Right, I'll just
I only go. Sorry, I'll grab it.
right. Jez is saying memes are the modern form of political cartoon. Absolutely, it completely is. I've got a great example of one of yours. 2 seconds. I'll see. Yeah. Right. This is mint. This meme's class. So for audio people, it's from the Fellowship of the Memes. At the top, yeah, I'm going to come on to like your part in this in a moment, but it says if you see a depiction of Mussolini hanging from a lamppost and it upsets you, I've got a black shirt with your name on it, follow your leader, and it's from the Lazio Celtic match, and it's just this constant back and forth wherever they play each other to wind each other up. However, you do what a lot of people don't do is you put your face out there. A lot of meme dealers don't do that because obviously, death threats and all that. What's that about? You happy for that?
So I don't know if I'm happy with it per se, but I'm happy to get punched for what I believe in. I mean, I grew up in Glasgow. I'm not averse to a fight. I'm other height of shite and could probably get killed by people really easily, but that's probably my downfall. I'm extremely gobby and will go for it with people, despite my height. But no, I'm happy. Like, you got all these wee twats, like, they be like, oh, look at you hiding behind a screen. Like, no. You can very easily find my face. Happy Scottish now. Thanks, Joanne. You might find out the happy Scottish noises at some point in the future when I've finally determined what they actually are. But I'm happy. I feel safe in the community I'm in, and it's a pretty left-wing community, Irish Catholic background, most of the people. Although everybody kind of supports Celtic, and even the Rangers people around here are sound as hell, or
Yeah.
As is most people that support Celtic and Rangers now. I think a lot of people think the sectarianism stuff's a lot worse than it is. It may have shifted to yes and no. But anyway, that's a different tangent. I am happy to put my face to what I believe in. I'm not totally daft. I have a VPN and stuff. I'm careful who gets my address and all that kind of stuff. And I'm also an introverted wee bam, so good luck actually finding me outside.
Nice one, man. Right, there's another one here. Right, so we touched on it a little bit later, right? But I just wanted to expand it a little bit, and it's about how we're experiencing the world. I mean, I have found recently, right, that I am not being as open and honest about how I'm feeling because I feel like, do you know what it is, right? My partner, she's I just don't want to traumatize her with all of the things I've been traumatized with. Because to do this job, you've got to look at the bad stuff, like the stuff in Gaza. I mean, I saw the baby must have been 6 months old, legs blown off from the knees. I mean, I'm joking up just saying that, never mind what I saw. And that's tip of the iceberg. And I am traumatized. There's no doubt about it. I'm sleeping like absolute shit. 2 hours last night, and yourself, we booked this in the other week, and you were dead kind. I was like, mate, I haven't barely slept here. I don't even know if I can string a sentence together. I mean, I'm powered by coffee right now, and I'll have a crash after this, but I didn't want to let you down again. You
think I'd be sponsored by these cunts by now?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't drink coffee, but so I get the extra anxiety too. So it's just this negative loop I'm in at the minute for that,
I had to just, when it comes to babies and children and stuff, even on the page, I've left the comments there, but I've asked if it's just kind of links and stuff. I can't do this. Seen the wins, or especially babies right now, especially after I was basically in hospital with baby G, still doing cratting, doing really well now. But every time I just look at him, and then I'd get really sad and depressed because I'd be like, shit, if you were in Gaza right now, I'd probably be on just holding you in my arms dead, because There's no fucking way on earth you were getting that surgery. Or I'd be, well, it wouldn't be a fast death. I'd just have to slowly watch him die as
Yeah.
his brain got more and more constricted. But then again, it's Gaza and there's about a million bombs dropping, so the mercy of the IDF might have helped me there. But that's, I'm not trying to put myself in that position, I'm just saying that's where my mind constantly went to, so I just couldn't do the... But yeah, it's important to look at it. There is power in shock value. Just be kind to yourselves and know your own mental limits. Because if you fuck yourself going too far, then you're no good to anybody either way. So I was trying to find that balance for me. I'm not sleeping that well, but I never slept that well. But it's genuinely something that's always on my mind. Half the time I'm like, do I want to put on Al Jazeera? Because I know I'm going to be depressed if I put on Al Jazeera. It's about finding time of the day. I usually wait till like the Waynes go to sleep, then I'll try and catch up with all the depression shit.
I hear you, man. I think it's the right, because of what you're going through in your personal life with the band. I think once again you've it's self-care first, because you cannot do any of this stuff if you're just broken. And I was close to it like a couple of weeks ago, if I'm honest, but I've been at this a while and I recognized it and pulled back. And as I took like a few days and just didn't ignore it all. I still, a little bits and bobs because I'm a fucking idiot. But it was better than it being so all-consuming, especially when I hadn't been sleeping very well. So what I've done is, anyway, to take the reins on it, we're moving spaces. So this will be the last one I'll be recording here, and the next one we'll have a set, and it'll have a window as well, and it'll just not be like some little hell cave that I have to look at hellish images in. Do you know what I mean? Maybe if I've got a breeze on my face, it'll be easier. Aye, man. Aye.
No, well, we're moving eventually as well, getting an extra room and stuff. So I'm hoping my next place is Mercusti.
Nice one. You've got a crowdfunder for the band, haven't you? Or is it still going?
No, I've just had a PayPal that I didn't actually expect people to start tossing some money into. A few people had put some stuff in saying, like, here's money for taxis and that. Honestly, that helped so much. Just knowing that I didn't have to worry about, because I feel like shit every morning. Like, mornings are the worst. That's where I spend my time being sick and that. Yeah. So knowing that I didn't have to sit in a bus for an hour and a half, I can't explain to people how much that helped. I could just be there. So it wasn't a crowd funder as of such. It was just people got a hold of my PayPal. And I thanked some people, and then that accidentally triggered me of people seeing it. But every time I'm on camera, I'm saying how much it helped. Like, just having one less stress at a time where everything was immensely stressful was amazing. And that's why I stay tuned to the page, because I've got some charities and all that kind of stuff, and I've been asking anybody, any of the cow crew, if you've got a wee business or whatever, message the page. I'm going to try and find when the best slotting times are, just help everybody out a wee bit as they've helped me.
Well, like, just on that, I'm going to encourage everybody who's listening or watching this, wherever you are, get on Glasgalf's page, and if you can chuck in, especially leading to Christmas, because I imagine it's going to be mad busy to that regard for taxis and getting about for yourself, for your medical appointments, for the band, all of that. So if you can possibly spare anything, it's important to remember the true meaning of Christmas, and let we help out as a community. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we can do it mad direct, can't we? You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes we can just go straight to PayPal and just do it, man. Blessings to you and your family, mate. I think you like, from what I can tell, you're a top bunch, and sorry you're going through this, but if we can help as a community, then here we are.
We'll get there. I appreciate it, man. It's
I know you feel mad awkward about it. I mean, anybody I'd do about it too, like, about for hours. It's just, I think if you've got any kind of like head on your shoulders, you're going to feel mad awkward about this stuff. But this is the reality of it. Like, it is work. We are doing like a good thing here, and I'm trying to get less awkward about it as I go on. But to be honest, Irish Catholicism's a deep brain virus, so I'm not sure the guilt of it is going to go away. But like,
I did go to Catholic school twice, so some of it's filtered in there. I was very much raised on the stand on your own 2 feet, never accept help. If you accept help, it's weakness bullshit. So I need for a while, people have been trying to help us out. For a long time, I just kept saying no to them. And eventually I said yes, and honestly, I'm not saying my life's rosy, but having a wee extra bits of stress chipped away it's worth it, and then you feel kind of more emboldened to try and help others as well. So it's a good wee cycle that pushes you in. You realise you're getting help. Actually, this feels nice. So this must be what other people feel when they're helping you. So now you can go and help other people, and
Definitely.
you'll reciprocate that nice feeling.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I love that, man, and I just completely buzz off seeing people progress. It's like it's a beautiful thing, and also it's great to see the community that you've got wrapped around what you're doing as well, and they all seem like a really good crew. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I get Glasgalf back on the 15th of December. Then I need to get my alt in there because my daft ass forgot to put it in. So Glasgalf has just been a ghost town.
yeah.
Much to the demise of all the other fellowship admins trying to get posting time.
What
But I
about?
will be back on the 15th, and if you want to follow the more closer stuff to what's going on in my life, that'll be on Glasgow, and Fellowship of the Memes will be still doing all the charity stuff and all that as well, but we'll be strictly staying in memeage and roasting BAMs. That's what that'll be
Wicked,
for.
man. Just before we go, right, I just want to like sort of like I think it would be remiss after Kissinger died overnight not to read this quote out from Anthony Bourdain, who is a massive miss, whereas Kissinger, I hope, is being burned to fuck in
I'll
the
drink
lake
to
of
that.
fire next to Margaret Thatcher. So this is Big Anthony here. He tweeted this, obviously, when he was still alive. Frequently, I've come to regret things I've said. This from 2001 is not one of those times. Once you've been to Cambodia, you'll never stop wanting to beat Henry Kissinger to death with your bare hands. You will never again be able to open a newspaper and read about that treacherous, prevaricating, murderous scumbag sitting down for a nice chat with Charlie Rose or attending some black tie affair for a new glossy magazine without choking. Witness what Henry did in Cambodia, the fruits of his genius for statesmanship, and you will never understand why he's not sitting in the dock at The Hague next to Milosevic. Big up Anthony Bourdain, a massive miss, R.I.P., burn in hell, Kissinger. Glasgalf, it's been a pleasure. Will you join
Loved
me
it,
again?
man. Absolutely, anytime you want. I'm always
Brilliant,
available
man.
to talk shite, usually.
Brilliant, man. Same way, and same as you blessed us. If you ever want me to come on yours and promote that as well, I'd be
Vince,
honoured.
do you want to do a hot chip challenge? Nah, just joking. I
Do
ain't
I
fucking
fuck?
doing that again.
Do I fuck?
I'm never doing that
I'll
again.
tell you why I saw you doing that. I was like, he's off his fucking head, him like absolutely. I was like, he's got like all these ailments. I was like, he's just gonna be absolutely scunnered this one. But honestly, I've just got over like some IBS and a long period of that kind of stuff, and I think it was stress related. So God knows how it's gone away, but it has. So I'm gonna stay well away from that hot chip challenge, man. I've seen
Would
too many of
recommend.
those. Yeah. But spot on, man. Thanks so much for sparing your time. And wherever you're watching this on the playback, listening, go to the links in the description. Glasgow's links are all there. If you can contribute towards the band for Christmas and taxi funds and all that, do it, man.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on. Love to you and the Milk Crew.
Always, man. Catch you later, yeah? See you later. Cheers, everybody. That has been Cow Daily. As you can see, really happy to have Glasgalf on, and hopefully it'll happen again sometime very soon. Also, if you want to support our work, please go patreon.com/Cow Daily. That's patreon.com/The Cow Daily. Also, links in the description for PayPal if you want to support our work. Also, thanks everybody for being here today. Also, if you want to support our work in a different way, I think we've got the stats sorted on the audio where it's been like, you know, being at a very low chart position. I got a notification from them and they hadn't been actually sharing the stats with the charts. So I think that's fixed. So one of the ways to help is to listen to the audio stream and play it all the way through. I mean, some people are doing that by turning the mute off if they've heard it before. You get me drift, but it really does help. So if you could do that, really appreciate it. Right, I'm going off to walk the dog and just generally get myself some fresh air and get out of this hell cave. Next time you see us, it'll be in the new spot. And honestly, I cannot wait. Sleep-wise, I'll be on it. And just having somewhere nice to work with a window, like, and ventilation. Kind of important. Anyway, love to all. Catch us later.